Hi, this is Suzanne in Ohio. I have a little project share again today, and this is another one of my little what's on my desk journals. It's made with a file folder, so I'm calling them file folder journals. And this is number 5, what's on my desk. I'm sorry I forgot to bring the closure over here, but it's a piece of fabric. Um, that matches the colors, and so you just simply tie it shut. But here's the front, and it's got a lot of little interesting things on it. I kind of really loaded this one up with collage work, and all the papers are collaged on there, and then some three-dimensional items like this little rolled up piece of music, some real bird feathers, some fabric snippets, an old rusty key, and of course, now I can't think, fabric folded ribbon type thing, and beads. So there's the front, and I'll turn it over so you can see the back. It's collage work also, not quite as heavy, but real interesting. So it's pretty chunky, as you can see. It's got a little bit of everything in it, and it's quite interesting as you go through it. So there's several folded up items in here, so I'm going to take my time and show you the whole thing. This one is number 5, like I said, and it will be on my Etsy site sometime later today. When you first open it up, of course, there's a pocket, like a folder pocket, collaged, and then in that pocket are these items, which I'll move out of the way. And then there's 2 more pockets behind these, created with some images. So we'll start with this one back here. It's just a card tag made from recycled greeting card, and that slips right in there. Some ephemera. All things have writing surfaces on the back. Another tag type card, and that is a little pocket right there, and that slips in there. This journal was so loaded that I didn't try to put something in every single tiny little place, but that's for you to do. So here's a shrunk down copy of an old photograph packet, I guess you would call them. This is what you got your photographs back from the drugstore in, and a friend had given me this one, and it was pretty bad, but I've scan the images and then put it back together as a folder. So I put a little something in here, a little photograph of a girl. So that slips in there, and both sides are a pocket where you can put some little hidden treasures in. And again, this is everything that's laying on my desk. So I had some items that were, maybe you would call them fails, but when you create something with them, it all becomes a win-win. And in this one, this envelope is a little hand fan. I've been making these, and of course hand fans were always advertisements, so I found an old advertisement there, put it on the back, and again, ephemera with writing spots on it. So that slips in this little envelope, and let's see if I can get it all back in here. And then that fits right here. So the first page is wallpaper. It's a pocket. I created it. I put a heavy piece of paper on one side and the wallpaper on this side, and it creates its own little pocket. And in that is a little booklet, and it's got some fun stuff in it too. A little tuck spot. And there might be something else in here, not in this one. Okay, so that's that. All right, when you turn the page, this flips open. This is a tuck spot, a little writing element right there, little journal card, and one of my teacups, and then these little pieces of ephemera slip out of here, and they can all be written on the back too. So that little teacup rests right here under this tuck spot. And then I put some photograph packets. You know, old photograph albums that had these pockets with it's very thin acetate, but it makes a nice little pouch. So I put that in there, and you can just slip anything in there you want, notes or whatever. Another piece of ephemera, vintage handwriting, and you can write on the back of that. Let me see if I can get this where it's more flat for both sides. Okay, plain paper, plenty of writing space in here. When you flip this open, text spot, journal card, close it back up, text spot, and then the spoon itself is a text spot. And this page, some coffee dyed ephemera paper, and that has 2 pieces of ephemera stuck there behind the mushroom. And let's see, I'll make sure that's not a pocket. It's not. It's just a flip out. Okay, 2 pieces of ephemera over here in this little text spot, and then some eco dyed paper. The other side of it, some of my collage paper with writing space on the back, onion skin paper here, and a couple pieces of ephemera here in that tuck spot, and then same here, a print of a vintage fabric that makes a great little journaling card. More paper, a fold-out envelope, you know, with writing space on it, music on the front. Love music. And here's the center folder for the journal. It's also created in the style of a file folder. And then in this pocket, well, let's say here's a journal card, text spot there. And then comes some pieces of ephemera, some of these little journaling tags that I had made, prints of my textiles, plenty of writing space, and there's a text spot there out of a piece of fabric. So that all tucks in this side, and on this side the little bird is a text spot. And then I put in one of my aprons. This is a fabric apron. It's done on cardstock. I sewed it right onto cardstock, and then a textile print of an old, I think tablecloth, and then a piece of ephemera stuck right in there for writing. And that fits in here with this piece of ephemera. Nice big pieces of ephemera for plenty of writing space. And on this side, let's move this, text spot, collage paper. You can write right on top of that collage paper. It's not so dark that you couldn't write right on it. Really give you extra room if you need it. A couple of little pieces of ephemera in that text spot. The other side of that onion skin paper. Silk screen tablecloth print, ledger print on the back of that for writing. The other side of the eco print, and there, same thing. And then here's the flip out again. Let's see if I can keep it in frame. Yeah, there's a little tuck spot with some ephemera. There are lots of writing space. A card and writing card, journaling cards. More space. An envelope put right here on the end of this flip out, and a nice piece of ephemera image right there. And when you turn it over, I put this on with a little paper clip so I'd remember where it went. But It's one of those matchbook notebooks. See if I can get it open here. With lots of little papers in there for writing. Just really cute. Kind of earthy looking. So I'll put that back in with the paper clip later. But it can fit right there under that little tuck spot. Here's the other side of the photograph pocket. A piece of ephemera and an old vintage photograph replica. Piece of ephemera stuck in there. Real nice tag that I created out of recycled greeting cards. I'm out to use everything, all those beautiful images, so they don't go to waste. This was our found item. It was probably going to be somebody's little notebook, and I put one of my images of my tuck spots, fabric tuck spots right there, and then it's just full of nice little papers. Another tuck spot on the back side, and I'll put that back in a minute. And here is a little flip that I had made. Use a lot of Etsy prints, and this opens up to, I think, four surfaces of writing area. Plus you can write right on this image of that textile. So that came out of that back pocket. And then I've included one of my acetate window envelopes. And then what I did was I made an assortment, or cut up an assortment of prompt words and things, and I'm sending it along with the journal. So you can cut those out and paste them anywhere in the journal that you want to, and then use this envelope for a photograph or anything else that you have in mind. So that was in that pocket, and then there is a second pocket on the music sheet. Here's another acetate window piece, and I'll just show you. Slip your hand right in there, and so anything you fold up and put in there would be visible. But in the meantime, there's something nice in the background if you don't get around to it right away. And then one more thing, one of my fabric, this is real fabric here with an image, and that creates a tuck spot, and it's imposed on an old vintage envelope. All right, so that's my 5th attempt to use up things on my desk, and it created such a really wonderful little that goes here. Wonderful little notebook. So this journaling card is what bird calls look like when they're printed out. I don't know how to explain that, but it's a frequency. It shows the frequency and the pacing of what they sound like. So there you have it. Those things go in there, and this goes back in this pocket here. And then there's still plenty of room for other things. So number 5 of what's on my desk. So I thank you for watching. Go to my Etsy site if you want to see some other views up close. Come back again.